Welcome to this deep dive, where we're going to be unpacking excerpts from this fantasy world. And it's a world just brimming with music, magic, and like enough mystery to keep us guessing for days. So you ready to kind of jump in?
Absolutely. These excerpts are like, I don't know, opening a treasure chest, right? You get these glimpses of a much bigger story, and it's just bursting with intrigue.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. And right off the bat, we've got Kavath, our protagonist, living this double life, right?
Right.
On the surface, he's Kavoth, just this like unassuming innkeeper wiping down mugs, trying to blend in. But then we get these hints of Kavoth the Bloodless, which I don't know about you, but that sends chills down my spine.
Oh, for sure. It's like, what could earn someone a title like Bloodless? Just
Right.
makes you want to know more. Like,
Right.
what happened? Why is this legendary figure hiding in plain sight? It really speaks to a past shrouded in secrecy.
Totally. And it's not just the name, it's the other characters we meet too, like Chronicler. This guy is like obsessed with getting Kavoth's story down on paper. And then there's Bast bringing this playful, almost mischievous energy to the end. You can tell right from the start that they both know more than they're letting on.
Oh, absolutely. It's like they each hold pieces of the puzzle and they're deciding very carefully when and how to reveal them. Do you get the sense that their presence at the inn is more than just coincidence? I mean, they're drawn to Kavoth for a reason.
100%. There's something there. But it's not just the characters, right? It's the world itself. The excerpts mention music, but not just any music. It's like intertwined with magic. Kavoth's skill on the mandolin, Dennis on the fiddle. It's more than just entertainment in this world.
It really is. What I find fascinating is this concept of names being the key to magic. Like, if you understand the true essence of something, its fundamental nature that gives you power over it.
Okay, so wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. So knowing a name equals power.
It's like cracking some kind of cosmic code, you know?
That's intense. It makes you think about like what other secrets are just hidden in plain sight. And it adds this whole other layer to Kavoth's story too, because he's not just like this talented musician. This guy is studying at a magical university.
Yes. Although he has been banned from their archives. Makes you wonder, what did he stumble upon in there? What kind of knowledge was deemed too dangerous for even someone like Voth to access?
Well, and he does have that knack for attracting trouble, even in a place of learning. Do you think it was deliberate? Was it defiance? Or was he genuinely trying to like quench this thirst for knowledge maybe about something or someone he shouldn't have been digging into, like, say, the Chandrian?
Ah, yes. The Chandri, and now we're getting to the heart of the mystery, aren't we? These excerpts really paint them as the stuff of nightmares, just shrouded in whispers and fear. They leave a trail of devastation, that's for sure, and their connection to Kavoth's past. Totally undeniable.
That's what gets me, because it's not just your typical villains lurk in the shadows situation. They're going out of their way to erase knowledge of themselves, which begs the question, what are they so afraid of?
Yeah.
What kind of power could knowing about them even hold?
Right. It suggests a certain vulnerability, doesn't it? If they were truly all-powerful, they wouldn't be so concerned with hiding. And knowing Kavath has this personal vendetta against them, you have to wonder, what did they do? To him? To people he cared about?
Okay, wait, hold on, because now we're venturing into spoiler territory.
Oh, no.
But before we go there, we have to talk about the one thing that might be even more captivating than magic and mysterious villains.
Love. Gotta have a little love in there, right? What's a good fantasy epic without a bit of romance?
Okay, true. And Kavath and Denna. Talk about a roller coaster. Yeah. You see that spark, though, right? Like this deep connection that keeps pulling them back together, Britt.
It's like they can't quite, I don't know, it's like they're stuck in this dance, but they haven't quite figured out the rhythm to it yet.
Yeah.
She's drawn to him, to his talent, his passion, but she's also, fiercely independent.
And you can't forget about the other men.
Right.
Always vying for her attention,
Right.
especially those wealthy patrons.
Right.
Makes you think, is she using them
Mm.
to further her own ambitions? Or is she genuinely searching for something real, in a world that seems to value surface over substance?
That's a question that goes way beyond just this fantasy world, don't you think?
Oh, look.
But Den is not the only woman who adds a little, intrigue to Kavoth's story.
Yeah.
You've got Felurian now. She embodies the allure and the danger of the Fey realm.
Oh, yeah. Felurian. That's a whole other layer of myth and magic, right?
Right.
But then there's the atom.
Mm-hmm.
Such a different vibe. Like this culture of pragmatism, this strict code of conduct of Lethani.
And you're right, they're not just fleeting encounters. Each one of these women, each relationship, it's like they represent a different part of this whole idea of love and power and, what society expects. Like,
Hmm.
Felurian is this primal, uninhibited passion. And then the Atom women, they really challenge how Kavath sees strength and vulnerability, even how emotions, how you deal with emotion.
It's true. I was struck by that contrast. On the one hand, you've got Felurian, all wild, almost dangerous freedom. And on the other, the Atom women with this strict code of conduct. Everything is deliberate, measured, even their fighting style. It's described as more like a dance than a brawl, which,
Imagine a world where every word, every action is deliberate, measured.
weh.
It really makes you think, like, what would a society like that actually look like? Would it be a utopia, all reason and harmony? Or would it come at a cost? Like, what about spontaneity? What about individual expression?
Right. I mean, you think about our own world and what we consider normal, and then these excerpts come along, and suddenly you're questioning everything.
That's the mark of a good story, though, isn't it? That it can challenge our perceptions, make us reconsider what we think is possible.
It really makes you think about what we take for granted, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we think we know what's normal, but then something like this comes along, and boom, total perspective shift.
That's the beauty of a good story, though, right? It challenges us, makes us see things in a new light. And speaking of seeing things in a new light, let's talk about the Chandrian again.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we talked about them wanting to stay hidden, but what really struck me, I don't know about you, is how even indirectly their presence just seems to amplify everything Kavath does. Like every action, every choice he makes, it's like they're always there, lurking in the background, upping the stakes.
It's like, when you're playing a game, and you only find out halfway through that there are all these hidden rules. That's what it feels like.
Exactly.
Makes you think about Kavath and those archives again.
Yeah.
Like, what did he find in there? Could it have been about them? Or was it something even bigger, even older, that we haven't even, begun to touch on?
It's a good question, and it kind of gets at this whole theme that runs through all these excerpts, the allure of forbidden knowledge and how dangerous it can be. Like, where do you draw the line? When does curiosity become reckless?
Right.
And is there some knowledge that's just better left alone?
Ooh. Gets a little creepy thinking about it, right? It's like that whole, the more you know.
The more you realize you don't know.
Exactly. And in this world, some things might be better left undiscovered. But that's what makes it so hard to resist,
Mhm.
I want to know what happens, even if it's dangerous. And it makes you really connect with Kavoth, because he's right there in the thick of it all.
I agree. And even with all this epic magic and mystery, what really resonated with me, honestly, were some of the smaller moments. Like when Kavoth loses his lute. I mean, talk about a musician's worst nightmare.
Oh.
But then Denna gets him a new one, just out of the blue. So much unspoken meaning packed into that one act.
It's true. It's those little moments of connection, even when everything else is so uncertain, that really get you.
They really do. So as we kind of wrap things up here, what are you left with? Anything in particular that really stood out?
Honestly, I just feel like we've scratched the surface. Like, these excerpts were just a starting point. It's like, I've got this map now, all these different paths that I could take, but I want to know what's down each one. The Chandrian, Kavoth's past, this whole magic system. It's a lot to process.
That's what makes for a great story, though, wouldn't you say? When it sticks with you, keeps those wheels turning long after you've finished it.
Absolutely. So to everyone listening, that's your homework. Go check out these excerpts for yourselves. Get lost in this world, follow those threads of curiosity wherever they lead, and let us know what you find. Because the most interesting discoveries, the ones that stay with you, those are the ones you make yourself.